चोरी नहीं की है।
चैन ले लिया मैंने बेकरार करके, बेकरार करके, बेकरार करके। दिल लगा लिया मैंने तुमसे प्यार करके, तुमसे प्यार करके, तुमसे प्यार करके। बीच सफर में कहीं मेरा साथ छोड़ के, तुझको कसम है नहीं हो जाना दिल तोड़ के।
कैसे मैं बताऊं तुझे कैसा मेरा हाल वे, जीना मरना है सब अब तेरे नाल वे।
तुझको पा लिया तेरा इंतजार करके, इंतजार करके, इंतजार करके। दिल लगा लिया मैंने तुमसे प्यार करके, तुमसे प्यार करके, तुमसे प्यार करके।
मोहब्बत का इजहार करती, मुझसे मोहब्बत का इजहार करती। काश कोई लड़की मुझे प्यार करती, काश कोई लड़की मुझे प्यार करती। मुझसे मोहब्बत का इजहार करती, मुझसे मोहब्बत का इजहार करती। काश कोई लड़की मुझे प्यार करती, काश कोई लड़की मुझे प्यार करती। बेचैन होती मैं बेताब होता, निगाहों में उसकी मेरा ख्वाब होता। वो बेचैन होती मैं बेताब होता, निगाहों में उसकी मेरा ख्वाब होता। शर्मा के वो लगती गले, रखता उसे पलकों तले। चोरी चोरी वो मेरा दीदार करती, चोरी चोरी वो मेरा दीदार करती। काश कोई लड़की मुझे प्यार करती, काश कोई लड़की मुझे प्यार करती।
मुझसे मुझसे मोहब्बत का इजहार करता, काश कोई लड़का मुझे प्यार करता, काश कोई लड़का मुझे प्यार करता।
सावन को मोहब्बत बादल से, आँखों को मोहब्बत काजल से, पैरों को मोहब्बत पायल से, हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत है तुमसे, हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत है तुमसे। देते, दुनिया लुटाते। कोई नहीं था नजरों में अपनी, जिसको सनम हम अपना बनाते। सपनों को मोहब्बत आँखों से, आँखों को मोहब्बत रातों से, रातों को मोहब्बत यादों से। हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत है तुमसे, हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत है तुमसे। मोहब्बत बादल से, आँखों को मोहब्बत काजल से, पैरों को मोहब्बत पायल से। हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत है तुमसे, हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत है तुमसे। तारों को मोहब्बत अंबर से, फूलों को मोहब्बत शबनम से, जैसे दिल को मोहब्बत दिलबर से। हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत है तुमसे, हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत है तुमसे, हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत है तुमसे, हमें ऐसी मोहब्बत।
ला 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 ला, ला 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 ला।
सर की जो सर से वो धीरे धीरे पागल हुआ रे मैं, धीरे धीरे तेरी चुनरिया दिल ले गई। सर की जो सर से वो धीरे धीरे पागल हुआ रे मैं, धीरे धीरे। सर की जो सर से वो धीरे धीरे पागल हुआ रे मैं, धीरे धीरे तेरी चुनरिया दिल ले गई। तेरी ये बिंदिया सर से वो धीरे धीरे पागल हुआ रे मैं, धीरे धीरे। सर की जो सर से वो धीरे धीरे पागल हुआ रे मैं, धीरे धीरे तेरी चुनरिया दिल ले गई। तेरी ये बिंदिया दिल ले गई।
ला 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 ला।
जाना है, होता क्यों दिल ये दीवाना है। तय कर लिया तुम्हें पाना है, क्या प्यार है ये दिखाना है।
मेरे भोले सनम, मेरे प्यारे सनम, दीवाने सनम, अनजाने सनम। बोले मेरा कंगना धीरे धीरे, बोले मेरी पायल धीरे धीरे।
ओ बोले तेरा कंगना धीरे धीरे, बोले तेरी पायल धीरे धीरे। तेरी चुनरिया दिल ले गई, तेरी ये बिंदिया दिल ले गई।
ला 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 ला, ला ला ला।
हो आ हा हा हा। तेरा मेरा जन्मों का नाता है, यूं ही नहीं दिल लुभाता है। रिश्ते ये रब ही बनाता है, करके बहाने मिलाता है।
मेरी यादों में तुम, मेरी बातों में तुम, मेरी सांसों में तुम, मेरी राहों में तुम। बोले मेरी धड़कन धीरे धीरे, बोले मेरी तड़पन धीरे धीरे।
ओ बोले मेरी धड़कन धीरे धीरे, बोले मेरी तड़पन धीरे धीरे। तेरी चुनरिया दिल ले गई, तेरी ये बिंदिया दिल ले गई। सर की जो सर से वो धीरे धीरे, पागल हुआ रे मैं धीरे धीरे। सर की जो सर से वो धीरे धीरे, पागल हुआ रे मैं धीरे धीरे। तेरी चुनरिया दिल ले गई, तेरी ये बिंदिया दिल ले गई।
घूंघट की आड़ से दिलबर का दीदार अधूरा रहता है। घूंघट की आड़ से दिलबर का दीदार अधूरा रहता है। जब तक ना पड़े आशिक की नजर, जब तक ना पड़े आशिक की नजर, सिंगार अधूरा रहता है। घूंघट की आड़ से दिलबर का,
घूंघट की आड़ से दिलबर का दीदार अधूरा रहता है। जब तक ना मिले नजरों से नजर, जब तक ना मिले नजरों से नजर, इकरार अधूरा रहता है घूंघट की आड़ से दिलबर का।
दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का,
दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का। से घुंघटा हटाने दे,
घर अपने मिलन की तो आने दे।
मेरे दिल पे नहीं मेरा काबू है,
कुछ नहीं ये तो चाहत का जादू है।
बढ़ती ही जाती है सनम प्यार की ये बेखुदी हो।
दो प्रेमियों के ना मिलने से संसार अधूरा रहता है। जब तक ना पड़े आशिक की नजर, जब तक ना पड़े आशिक की नजर, सिंगार अधूरा रहता है घूंघट की आड़ से दिलबर का।
दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का,
हाँ, दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का।
मोहब्बत में मिलना जरूरी है,
पास आने का अच्छा बहाना है।
क्या करूं मैं कि मौसम दीवाना है।
दिल मेरा धड़काने लगी अब तो ये दीवानगी हो।
बिना किसी यार के जाने जा ये प्यार अधूरा रहता है। जब तक ना मिले नजरों से नजर, जब तक ना मिले नजरों से नजर, इकरार अधूरा रहता है घूंघट की आड़ से दिलबर का।
घूंघट की आड़ से दिलबर का दीदार अधूरा रहता है। जब तक ना पड़े आशिक की नजर, सिंगार अधूरा रहता है घूंघट की आड़ से दिलबर का।
दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का,
दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का,
हाँ दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का,
हाँ दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का,
दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का,
दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का,
हाँ दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का,
दिलबर का दिलबर का दिलबर का।
तुझको ही दुल्हन बनाऊंगा, तुझको ही दुल्हन बनाऊंगा, वरना कवारा मर जाऊंगा। तुझको ही दुल्हन बनाऊंगा, वरना कवारा मर जाऊंगा।
जाके जोगन बन जाऊंगी, संग तेरे नाम आऊंगी, सबसे मैं ये कह जाऊंगी, तुझको ना दूल्हा बनाऊंगी, तुझको ना दूल्हा बनाऊंगी, चाहे कवारी मर जाऊंगी, तुझको ना दूल्हा बनाऊंगी, चाहे कवारी मर जाऊंगी।
तेरे लिए लाऊंगा बिंदिया चांद सितारों की, हाँ तेरे लिए लाऊंगा बिंदिया चांद सितारों की, पहनाऊंगा चुनर मैं तुझको नई बहारों की।
अरे चार कवारे मुझ पे डोरे डालना तू ऐसे, मेरे आगे पीछे फिरते हैं तेरे जैसे,
नखरे ना कर दीवानी, अब मान भी जाओ रानी।
ना बनेगी तेरी कहानी, चल छोड़ दे ये मनमानी,
तुझको ही छल्ला पहनाऊंगा, हाँ, तुझको ही छल्ला पहनाऊंगा, वरना कवारा मर जाऊंगा।
जाके जोगन बन जाऊंगी, संग तेरे नाम आऊंगी, सबसे मैं ये कह जाऊंगी, तुझको ना दूल्हा बनाऊंगी, चाहे कवारी मर जाऊंगी। शादी वादी के चक्कर में मुझे नहीं पड़ना, अरे शादी वादी के चक्कर में मुझे नहीं पड़ना, चार दीवारों में घुट घुट के मुझे नहीं मरना,
खुली हवाओं की मैं तुझको सैर कराऊंगा, हनीमून में लंदन पर तुझे घुमाऊंगा।
चिकनी चिकनी बातों में आऊं ना तेरे हाथों में,
मुझको जो ठुकराएगी तू बाद में पछताएगी।
ना सेज तेरी सजाऊंगी, हाँ ना सेज तेरी सजाऊंगी, चाहे कवारी मर जाऊंगी,
बिन तेरे ना जी पाऊंगा, बिन तेरे ना मर पाऊंगा, सबसे मैं ये कह जाऊंगा, तुझको ही दुल्हन बनाऊंगा, वरना कवारा मर जाऊंगा। ओ ये जिद छोड़ दे, नाता जोड़ दे, रब का नाम ले, दामन थाम ले, मान भी ले तू मेरा कहना,
साथ तेरे नहीं मुझको रहना,
कब डोली बारात में लाऊं,
कैसे तुझको मैं समझाऊं,
क्या तूने ये सोच लिया है,
हाँ मैंने ये सोच लिया है,
यारो जहर की पुड़िया लाओ,
ये पागल है इसे बचाओ,
तेरे बिना मुझको नहीं जीना,
करना ऐसी खता कभी ना,
मुझको अब ये जहर है पीना,
जख्मी दिल मुझको नहीं सीना,
छोड़ के दुनिया चला मैं चला, छोड़ के दुनिया चला मैं चला, छोड़ के दुनिया चला मैं चला।
इसकी जान गई, लगता इसकी जान गई,
चेहरा तेरा कलियों सी मुस्कान है, फूलों सा चेहरा तेरा कलियों सी मुस्कान है। रंग तेरा देख के, रूप तेरा देख के कुदरत भी हैरान है। रंग तेरा देख के, रूप तेरा देख के कुदरत भी हैरान है। फूलों सा चेहरा तेरा कलियों सी मुस्कान है। रंग तेरा देख के, रूप तेरा देख के कुदरत भी हैरान है। रंग तेरा देख के, रूप तेरा देख के कुदरत भी हैरान है। तेरी चाल है, हिरनी के जैसी आंखें हैं तेरी, बुलबुल के जैसी तेरी चाल है। माथे पे तेरे सूरज की लाली, रेशम के जैसा तेरा बाल है। चांद सितारों में एक हजारों।
The rich don't work for money. They make money work for them. Most people spend their entire lives chasing a paycheck. They wake up, go to work, return home exhausted, and repeat the cycle for 40 years. This is what Robert Kiyosaki calls the rat race. Rich Dad explains that poor and middle-class people work for money, while rich people make money work for them. Why do poor and middle-class people stay trapped? Because of the emotional cycle of fear of not having money, desire for comfort, possessions, and lifestyle. Fear pushes people to work harder for income. Desire pushes them to spend that income, new phone, bigger house, nicer car, keeping them trapped. How the rich think differently. Instead of thinking, I need a job, the rich ask, how can I create income-producing assets? They build systems that earn money whether they work or not. The goal is not to earn a salary, the goal is financial freedom, when your assets produce more income than your expenses. How to apply this lesson to become rich. 1. Shift your mindset from employee to entrepreneur/investor. 2. Ask every day, how can I build or acquire an asset? 3. Reduce emotional decision-making about money. 4. Prioritize long-term financial freedom over short-term comfort. The rich become rich because they escape the cycle of fear work, spending more fear. 2. It's not about how much money you make, but how much you keep. Most people think income equals wealth. But Rich Dad explains that income is meaningless if you can't keep it, grow it, or use it to buy assets. Many high earners stay broke because their expenses rise with their income. This is called lifestyle inflation. A person making $2,000 per month may be richer than someone making $10,000 per month if the first person invests and the second person spends everything. Wealth equals assets plus low expenses plus cash flow. Wealth is measured by how long you can survive if you stopped working today. Rich Dad's wealth formula. Build assets. Minimize liabilities. Keep expenses low. Increase cash flow. Reinvest profits. Why poor people lose money. They spend before saving. They don't invest. They rely on one income source. Job. Taxes and debt eat their paycheck. Why rich people keep money. They invest before spending. They turn income into assets. They use tax laws to their advantage. They create multiple income streams. How to apply. Track every expense. Reduce liabilities, car loans, consumer debt. Increase savings plus investing percentage. Create a financial buffer. Lesson 3, mind your own business. Build your asset column. The middle class works for their employer, the government, and the bank. The rich work for themselves. Rich Dad says, your job is not your business. Your assets are your business. Your goal is to grow your asset column, something that puts money in your pocket. Examples of assets. Businesses. Real estate that produces rent. Stocks. Bonds. Intellectual property. Books. Courses. Online brands. Royalties. Digital products. Cash-flowing investments. Examples of liabilities. Cars. Mortgages on homes you live in. Credit card debt. Consumer loans. Fancy lifestyle items. Anything that takes money out of your pocket. The danger of working for someone else. Most people spend their lives building someone else's asset column. Employees build the company's wealth. Taxes take a large portion of salary. Mortgage interest enriches the bank. Meanwhile, their own asset column remains empty. How to build your own business even with a job. 1. Spend evenings/weekends building a side business. 2. Invest part of every paycheck into assets. 3. Learn financial literacy. 4. Don't rely on one source of income. The rich don't depend on one employer, they build systems that pay them forever. Lesson 4, the history of taxes. How the rich use laws to their advantage. One of the most eye-opening lessons in the book is about taxes. Most people think the rich should pay more taxes. But the truth is, taxes were created to control the poor, not the rich. Historically, taxes were meant for the wealthy. But governments learned that the middle class would accept taxes for the good of society. Today, the poor and middle class pay a high percentage of tax through salaries, consumption, and inflation. Why rich people pay less tax. Rich Dad says, the rich don't evade taxes, they use the laws legally. How? They earn through corporations, not salaries. Corporations deduct expenses before paying tax. They reinvest profits into new assets. They use debt as a tool to control and grow wealth. They invest in real estate and receive tax advantages. The poor's tax pattern. Earn tax, spend, left with nothing. The rich's tax pattern. Earn, spend, taxed on what's left. Real-world example. If a person makes $5,000 per month as an employee, they get taxed. Rent, car, food, bills. Little or no money left for investing. If a business owner earns $5,000, they deduct business expenses. They invest in assets. Their taxable income becomes smaller. How to apply. Start a small business to benefit from tax deductions. Invest in real estate, businesses, and assets. Avoid depending solely on a salary. Learn basic tax strategies in your country. Lesson 5, the rich invent money. Opportunities are created, not found. People often say, I wish I could invest, but I don't have money. But Rich Dad teaches, money is not required to make money, knowledge is. A financially educated person sees opportunities everywhere. Undervalued properties, market dips, business inefficiencies, new technologies, partnerships, cash flow potential. The poor wait, the rich create. Why most people miss opportunities. 1. They fear risk. 2. They want guarantees. 3. They want perfection. 4. They lack basic financial education. 5. They don't practice. 6. They rely on job income only. How the rich invent money. Buying real estate at discount. Selling before buying options futures. Digital products. Creating a brand. Flipping businesses. Trading knowledge for money. Negotiating deals. Spotting undervalued assets. Using leverage other people's money. How to apply. Study markets, real estate, business, investing. Start small, learn, experiment. Build a network. Practice spotting opportunities weekly. Ask, where is money flowing in the world right now? Lesson 6, work to learn, not to earn. Employees chase salary. Rich people chase skills. Rich Dad explains. The most powerful asset is your mind. Money comes and goes. Skills stay forever. Skills that make people rich. 1. Sales and persuasion. 2. Marketing. 3. Communication. 4. Investing. 5. Leadership. 6. Negotiation. 7. Accounting. 8. Tax strategy. 9. Business building. If you master these, wealth is inevitable. Why middle-class people stay stuck? They learn one skill and spend life using it. They fear stepping outside professional comfort zones. They depend on promotions and incremental salary increases. Why the rich learn broadly? They want to sell, negotiate, understand money, build teams, manage systems. Every skill compounds into massive earning power. How to apply. Take jobs to learn skills, even low-paying ones. Start side projects that challenge you. Learn selling, critical. Study one new financial concept each week. Build your financial IQ. Lesson 7, overcoming obstacles, the real enemies of wealth. Rich Dad teaches that most people are not held back by lack of money. They are held back by fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. These 5 enemies block the path to riches. 1. Fear of losing money. The biggest financial obstacle is the fear of making mistakes. Most people fear risk, fear failure, fear losing savings, fear judgment from family, fear being wrong. But Rich Dad says winners are not people who never lose. Winners are people who are not afraid of losing. The rich become rich because they learn how to manage risk, not avoid it. How the rich deal with fear. They study before investing. They start small and learn. They treat failure as feedback. They focus on long-term gains. They diversify smartly. 2. Cynicism, negative thinking. Cynics always say, "It won't work. It's too risky. I know someone who lost money. The market will crash." Cynicism kills dreams before they even start. Rich Dad warns, doubt and fear create hesitation, and hesitation creates poverty. How to defeat cynicism. Follow facts, not emotions. Analyze opportunities objectively. Study people who have succeeded. Surround yourself with doers, not doubters. Take calculated risks. 3. Laziness. Being busy instead of productive. Most people say, "I don't have time to invest. I'm too busy." Busy doing what? Working for others. Rich Dad calls this smart laziness. Busy enough to avoid building your own wealth. How to overcome financial laziness. Prioritize building assets. Reduce entertainment time. Automate savings/investments. Delegate tasks you don't have to do. The rich invest time today so they have freedom tomorrow. 4. Bad habits. Poor money habits create lifelong financial traps. Spending before saving. Neglecting financial education. Chasing comfort. Impulse buying. No investing discipline. Rich Dad says, your habits determine your future more than your income. Good habits of the rich. Pay yourself first. Invest monthly. Read financial education. Track expenses. Evaluate net worth regularly. 5. Arrogance. Arrogance is assuming you already know enough. Many people lose money because they ignore advice, refuse to study, take emotional decisions, overestimate their knowledge. Rich Dad teaches humility. The moment you think you know everything, you stop learning. Lesson 8. Focus. The power of concentration. Focus equals follow one course until successful. Most people do too many things, achieve nothing, and remain average. The rich understand. Wealth comes from deep focus on one asset or one skill until mastery. The middle class diversifies too early. They say, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket." Rich Dad disagrees. Put your eggs in one basket and learn to protect the basket. In the beginning, you need concentration, not diversification. Diversification is smart after you are rich, not before. Why focus creates wealth. 1. Mastery generates outsized returns. 2. Focus builds expertise. 3. Consistency compounds growth. 4. Distraction kills momentum. 5. Deep knowledge creates opportunities. Examples: Jeff Bezos focused on e-commerce first. Warren Buffett focused on value investing. Elon Musk focused deeply on engineering plus innovation. Real estate investors focus on buying cash flow properties. Focus beats talent. Focus beats luck. Focus creates mastery. How to apply the focus lesson. Choose one asset class: business, stocks, real estate. Study it deeply. Practice regularly. Build slowly but consistently. Avoid changing direction every few months. Ignore noise, trends, and hype. Focus is the bridge between low income and massive wealth. Lesson 9. The rich take action. Knowledge plus execution equals wealth. Many people read books, watch videos, attend seminars, but never take action. Rich Dad says, the world is full of smart poor people. Why? Because information without action is useless. What stops people from taking action? 1. Fear of making mistakes. 2. Looking for perfect timing. 3. Waiting for more money. 4. Waiting for more knowledge. 5. Worrying about what others will think. But the rich understand. You learn by doing, not by waiting. The power of small steps. Rich Dad teaches starting with small investments, simple businesses, low-risk decisions, basic financial experiments. Small steps build confidence. Confidence creates momentum. Momentum builds wealth. Examples of actions that lead to wealth: buying your first stock, purchasing your first rental property, starting a small online business, saving and investing consistently, creating digital assets, courses, books, brands, negotiating deals, networking with investors. The poor wait for the right time. The rich create the right time. How to apply Lesson 9. Take one small financial action this week. Set weekly financial goals. Keep learning through experience. Track every decision. What went right? What went wrong? Never let fear stop you from testing opportunities. Action is the gateway to wealth. Lesson 10. Start small. Start now. How to begin your wealth journey from nothing. This is the final lesson and one of the most powerful. Rich Dad says, you don't need money to become rich. You need education, mindset, and a plan. Where most people fail, they think they need a lot of money to begin. They wait for the perfect time. They look for big opportunities. They believe investing is only for rich people. All wrong. The truth. The rich started small, very small. How to start small even if you're broke. 1. Build your financial education. Learn. Investing basic. cash flow, assets versus liabilities, how markets work, business fundamentals. Study 30 minutes a day. 2. Manage money wisely. Even if you earn little, save a portion, invest a portion, reduce liabilities, avoid lifestyle upgrades. Wealth begins with discipline, not income. 3. Start building assets today. Possible small beginnings. Buy your first $5 or $10 worth of stocks. Start a small online business. Create digital products. Offer freelance services. Start a YouTube channel. Buy books and courses. Build a savings investment system. 4. Build income streams slowly. Aim for 1 new skill every 3 months. 1 new income stream every 6 to 12 months. 1 asset added to your portfolio each year. Small streams eventually become rivers. 5. Surround yourself with the right people. Avoid complainers, fearful thinkers, negative relatives, broke friends with broke mentality. Attract investors, entrepreneurs, learners, disciplined individuals. Your environment determines your financial destiny. 6. Play the long game. True wealth doesn't happen in 6 months. It happens in 6 to 15 years of smart decisions, constant learning, building assets, letting compounding work. Rich Dad teaches patience. The process is slow at first, but unstoppable once it begins.
The debt machine designed to keep generations financially trapped. What if the debt you carry, the loans your parents struggle to pay, the national debt your country drowns in, were never mistakes of a broken system? What if debt wasn't a side effect of modern life, but the fuel of an engine built centuries ago? A machine that needs you to owe money, needs governments to borrow endlessly, needs generations to be trapped in obligations they can never escape. Tonight, we uncover a secret most people will never learn. The global economy is not powered by money. It is powered by debt. But the real question is not why we borrow. It's who designed the world to function this way. And what happens when the machine becomes too big to control? Stay with me. Because once you see how the system was built, you'll never look at money the same way again. On-screen visuals during hook. Slow zoom on a dollar bill. Fade into ancient coins melting into modern credit cards. Quick flashes of debt charts, foreclosure signs, student loan statements. A ticking clock overlaid on global stock markets. Final shot, giant gears turning, made of credit card chips and bond charts. The world before the debt machine. To understand the machine that traps modern generations, we must go far back. To a world where debt was not a tool of governments, but a weapon used only during desperation. A world where money meant something real. Gold, silver, physical wealth. If a kingdom had gold, it prospered. If it ran out, it collapsed. Simple, honest, brutal. But this old world had a fatal flaw. Gold could not be created on demand. And kings hated limitations. Medieval Europe illustrations, gold coins stacked on tables. Scenes of kings sitting with advisors pointing to treasure chests. Maps of empires shrinking and growing based on wealth. Empires wanted armies. Armies needed weapons. Weapons needed metal. Metal needed money. So every war, every expansion, Every ambition was chained to the same constraint. How much gold do you have? But then came a moment. A moment that unlocked everything. A moment where desperate rulers discovered something dangerous. If they couldn't find gold, they could borrow it. And out of that desperation, the first seeds of the modern debt machine were planted. The birth of government debt. The origins of the debt machine trace back to 17th century Europe. A continent fighting endless wars. England, France, Spain, the Dutch. Everyone needed money. But the most important moment happened in England. The crown had run out of gold. War debts were piling up. The treasury was empty. And the kingdom faced collapse. That's when a group of wealthy merchants and early bankers proposed a radical idea: let us lend the government money. In exchange, give us control over how that money circulates. This idea led to the creation of a revolutionary institution. Painting, Foundation of the Bank of England, 1694. Old parchment loans signed by the crown. Early paper money. In 1694, the Bank of England was born. Not as a bank for the people, but as a lender to the government. It issued paper notes backed by government debt, not gold. This was the first major twist in our story. Money no longer represented wealth. It represented debt. And the king realized something incredible. Almost intoxicating. He could spend money he didn't have. Paper notes being printed. Animation showing debt turning into money supply. Gears turning, powered by bonds labeled interest. This new system spread rapidly across Europe. Every government wanted the same power. The ability to borrow endlessly. Debt became a permanent feature of nations. But another country would take this concept and elevate it into a global empire. The United States. America supercharges the machine. America begins its story in debt. Even before it became a nation, the colonies borrowed heavily to fight Britain. When the United States was formed, its treasury was a disaster. Enter Alexander Hamilton, perhaps the most influential architect of modern finance. He argued something shocking. A national debt, if it is not excessive, will be a national blessing. A blessing. Not a burden. A tool. A foundation for growth. Hamilton convinced Congress to adopt a system where the US would always carry debt forever. Investors loved it. Bankers loved it. And thus began the American version of the debt machine. Portrait of Hamilton. Early US Treasury ledgers. The first bond certificates. But the machine wasn't complete. The US still lacked the modern engine that would define its future. A central bank. That would arrive in 1913. Dark cinematic shot of Jekyll Island. Silhouettes of bankers meeting. Signing of the Federal Reserve Act. In a quiet holiday period, with many lawmakers absent, Congress passed the Federal Reserve Act, creating the Federal Reserve. A central bank with enormous power. It could create money. It could control credit. It could influence interest rates. But most importantly, it could expand the debt machine at unprecedented speed. This was the single most important financial transformation of the 20th century. But the greatest twist was still to come. When money stopped being real. For centuries, even in debt-based systems, one rule kept everything grounded. Money was tied to gold. Governments could borrow, but only as long as they maintained gold reserves. This connection kept inflation under control. But in 1971, everything changed. President Richard Nixon announced the temporary suspension of the gold standard, a temporary measure that became permanent. The world had entered the era of pure fiat currency. Money was now backed by nothing but government decree. What did this mean? It meant governments could print unlimited money. Central banks could expand credit forever. And the debt machine could grow without limit. Nixon's televised announcement. Gold bars dissolving into paper dollars. Exploding money supply charts. This moment was the true ignition point. Because without gold to restrain governments, debt skyrocketed. And something else happened silently but devastatingly. Inflation became the default state of the economy. Prices would rise forever. Wages would fail to keep up. People would be forced to borrow simply to maintain their standard of living. This was no longer a financial system. It was a trap. How the debt machine traps generations. Once money became unlimited, the machine spread into every corner of society. Let's break down the four major traps. Trap 1: Student loans. Universities realized that if students could borrow money, they could raise tuition unlimitedly. Today, global student debt surpasses trillions. A 22-year-old starts life owing what previous generations earned in a decade. Overpriced tuition boards. Students stressed, sitting with loan paperwork. Charts showing tuition inflation versus wage stagnation. Trap 2: Mortgages. Homes used to cost a few years of income. Now, they require full lifetimes of debt. Banks discovered a vicious cycle. More available mortgage loans, higher housing prices. Higher housing prices, bigger loans. Bigger loans, more interest income. A loop that never ends. Homes doubling in price. 30-year mortgage stamped in red. Eviction and foreclosure signs. Trap 3: Credit cards. Credit cards turned everyday living into high-interest debt. A $500 item becomes a $1,700 burden. Minimum payments ensure people stay indebted for decades. Trap 4: National debt. This is the biggest trap of all. Governments borrow so much that repaying the principal is impossible. They pay only interest. Endlessly. Silently. No escape. Future generations inherit this burden at birth. Fallout: the cost of a system that can't stop. Every crisis of the last century exposes the same pattern. The machine grows until it breaks. Then it's rescued with even more debt. 2008 financial crisis. Triggered by excessive mortgage debt. Banks collapsed. Millions lost homes. The government solved it by borrowing billions more. Lehman Brothers collapse. Housing bubble burst animations. 2020 pandemic crisis. Governments printed trillions to prevent collapse. Debt exploded. Inflation surged. Once again, the machine was fed. Failed fixes why the machine cannot stop. You might wonder, why don't leaders fix this? The answer is simple. Stopping the debt machine would collapse modern economies. Debt fuels GDP. Debt funds government spending. Debt inflates housing. Debt keeps corporations alive. Debt keeps stock markets rising. If the machine stops, everything collapses. Politicians won't risk it. Banks won't allow it. Consumers can't survive it. So what do they do instead? They accelerate it. Modern parallels shocking data. Here is where things become troubling. Global debt, $330 trillion. US credit card debt, over $1 trillion. US national debt, $35 trillion. Average home price skyrocketing faster than income. 70% of young adults say owning a home feels impossible. 40% rely on debt to pay monthly expenses. Governments spend more on interest than on education or health. These patterns appear in almost every modern country. Debt is now the bloodstream of the world. And everyone from students to nations is caught in the same trap. The psychology of the machine. The machine thrives on one thing: people blaming themselves. Most people think, I'm bad with money. I should budget better. I'm not working hard enough. But no. The truth is simple. You were never meant to escape. The system works only if the average person stays indebted. 3 takeaways. Takeaway: the debt system was designed. It didn't evolve naturally. It was engineered and perfected by governments and banks. Takeaway: inflation is not an accident. It is a feature. It ensures money loses value over time, forcing people to borrow more. Takeaway: the machine cannot stop. Stopping it means economic collapse. So leaders choose the only path they can. Grow the machine. Expand the debt. Push the consequences into the future. Final warning: open-ended thought. The debt machine is approaching a crossroads. For centuries, it has grown. For decades, it has accelerated. But today, for the first time in history, the machine is growing faster than the world can handle. Every empire that built its prosperity on debt eventually faced 3 outcomes: hyperinflation, currency collapse, total financial reset. We don't know which path the modern world will take. But one thing is certain: a system that grows on unlimited borrowing cannot sustain itself forever. The question is not if something will shift, but when. Call to action: natural, not salesy. If you want deeper stories about money, power, and the forces shaping your life, hit the like button so others can learn the truth. Subscribe to the channel, not for entertainment, but for clarity. And share this video with someone who believes debt is normal. Because once you see the machine, you can never unsee it.
Titled Jeff Bezos, the relentless mind behind the most powerful company on earth. Opening. Dramatic hook. Visual. Slow zoom on a dark warehouse. Robotic arms move silently. A single Amazon box rolls toward the camera. Narrator: deep, serious tone. What if I told you that the man who changed global shopping forever didn't start with money, influence, or power? What if I told you that his first office was a garage and his desk was literally made from a wooden door? And what if I told you the empire he built didn't begin with a dream of selling everything but with a single number so dangerous it scared him into action? For most people, the story of Jeff Bezos begins with Amazon. But the real story, the one people never hear, begins with a mystery. Why did a brilliant Wall Street executive suddenly quit one of the best jobs in America to chase a completely unrealistic, almost ridiculous idea called an online bookstore? Today, we'll uncover that mystery. Because to understand Jeff Bezos, you must understand obsession, risk, and the cold, mathematical logic that turned one man's vision into the world's most influential company. This is the story of Jeff Bezos, the man who redefined convenience, destroyed old business models, built the world's most advanced logistics network, and proved that the future belongs to those willing to think longer than everyone else. Part 1: The Origins. Before Amazon visual, 1960s footage, a small home, childhood photos. Long before Jeff Bezos became the richest person on earth. He was raised by a teenage mother and an immigrant stepfather who barely spoke English when he arrived in the U.S. Jeff wasn't the loudest kid. He wasn't the strongest. But he had something rare. An extreme curiosity that bordered on obsession. He would take apart toys, kitchen appliances, and even the family's crib, not to break them, but to understand them. Years later, Bezos would say something that explains his entire career. "I'm willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time." This wasn't a quote. It was a personality. As a teenager, he spent his summers working on his grandfather's ranch, repairing windmills, fixing machines, solving problems no kid should know how to solve. He learned a powerful lesson. Problems are puzzles, not barriers. This mindset would later help him survive the most brutal business storms in history. Part 2: The Rise Before the Garage. Visual: Wall Street scenes, computers, early internet graphs. In the early 1990s, Jeff Bezos wasn't a dreamer. He wasn't a risk-taker. He was a Wall Street star, a brilliant hedge fund analyst at a firm called Diya. He was on track for wealth, prestige, and a predictable future. Then everything changed. One day, he read a statistic. The internet was growing at 2,300% per year. Let that number sink in. Not 23%. Not 230%. 2,300%. For Bezos, this was not just a number. It was a warning. He realized something terrifying. If the internet keeps growing like this, it will change everything. And anyone who doesn't build for that future will be crushed by it. This was the moment that split his life in two. He made a list of 20 business ideas for the internet. One of them was the world's largest online bookstore. His boss, the legendary David Shaw, told him, "This is a good idea, but it would be a better idea for someone who didn't already have a good job." Translation: "You're crazy if you leave this." And Jeff agreed. For a moment, he walked around the city thinking. He imagined his life at age 80. He imagined regret. Then he made the decision that would define an era. He quit. And he packed a car with his wife and drove across America to start a company that most experts predicted would fail immediately. That company became Amazon. Part 3: Building the Garage Empire. Visual: garage office, messy desks, early Amazon website. It's easy to romanticize Amazon's beginnings, but the truth is far more raw. Bezos and his small team worked in a garage with no air conditioning. Computers overheated. Orders were packed on the floor. They had no money, no power, no investors willing to take them seriously. But Bezos had two weapons: relentless focus and a time horizon longer than anyone else. Even in the early days, he told his team, "We are not a bookstore. We are a technology company. Books are just the beginning." While other companies solved problems weekly, Bezos solved problems decades ahead. He wasn't building a store. He was building a system, a machine that could sell anything to anyone, anywhere. But growth came with danger. The more popular Amazon became, the more vicious the backlash grew. Publishers hated him. Bookstores hated him. Retailers underestimated him. And then came the storm that almost killed everything. Part 4: The Breaking Point. .com collapse. Visual: markets crashing, newspapers showing tech failures. By the year 2000, Amazon had grown into a fast-rising internet star. Then the .com bubble exploded. Within months, thousands of internet companies collapsed. Stock markets crashed. Billions evaporated. Amazon's stock dropped over 90%. Analysts called Bezos a fraud. Magazines wrote, "Amazon bomb. Jeff Bezos is finished. This company will not survive the year." Employees panicked. Investors attacked. Competitors celebrated. This was the moment most founders quit. But Bezos didn't break. He went silent and went deeper into strategy. Instead of retreating, he doubled down. He cut costs aggressively. He restructured warehouses. He focused on survival, not growth. And quietly, behind the scenes, he began designing the most powerful profit machine Amazon would ever create. Part 5: The Twist, the Birth of AWS. Visual: servers, data centers, developers. In the early 2000s, Amazon faced a massive internal problem. Its engineers were wasting time building the same infrastructure again and again. Bezos saw a pattern. If Amazon needed cloud storage and computing, so would millions of other companies in the future. And then came the realization: we can sell the backbone of the internet. This idea became Amazon Web Services, AWS. When AWS launched, nobody understood it. People mocked it. Investors ignored it. But Bezos knew something they didn't. E-commerce was the present. Cloud computing was the future. Today, AWS is the most profitable part of Amazon. It powers Netflix, Facebook, NASA, Spotify, Airbnb, and millions of apps worldwide. The twist was complete. Amazon wasn't a store anymore. It was the infrastructure of the modern world. Part 6: Fall at the Price of Growth. Success comes with consequences. Behind Amazon's speed were warehouses operating at near military efficiency. Employees faced intense pressure. Small businesses struggled to compete. Retail giants collapsed under Amazon's shadow. Bezos' philosophy: customer obsession above all, created products people loved. But also a machine so powerful that critics questioned whether any competitor could survive. Bezos wasn't blind to criticism, but he believed something deeply. Short-term comfort destroys long-term achievement. Discipline creates greatness. To him, success wasn't about ease. It was about building something that would last beyond his lifetime. Part 7: Failed Fixes: Why Competitors Lost. Walmart tried to copy Amazon. eBay tried to outsmart Amazon. Google tried to compete with Amazon Shopping. Microsoft tried to fight AWS. They all failed. Why? Because they misunderstood the core of Bezos' strategy. Amazon doesn't win by doing things better. It wins by doing them earlier. By the time other companies realized what Bezos was building, Amazon was already 10 years ahead. Competitors solved yearly goals. Bezos solved decade-long goals. This is why almost every attempt to stop Amazon failed. Part 8: Modern Parallels: Shocking Data. Today, Amazon is not just a company. It is 40% of US e-commerce, the backbone of the internet through AWS, one of the world's largest logistics networks, a leader in robotics and AI warehouses, a trillion-dollar empire built on long-term thinking. Bezos didn't just predict the future. He built it. And here's the shocking part. Most of his greatest decisions came from ideas people laughed at. Selling books online. Impossible. Now it's normal. 2-day shipping. Insane. Now it's expected. Cloud computing. Too abstract. Now it runs the world. This is the repeating pattern of his life. Bezos sees what others see, but he understands what others ignore. Part 9: The Final Lesson: What Made Bezos Different. Jeff Bezos wasn't the smartest, richest, or most connected. His superpower was simpler and more dangerous. He made decisions based on the next 20 years, not the next 20 days. When everyone else looked for shortcuts, he looked for systems. When others played for profits, he played for dominance. When others feared the future, he embraced it. And the world changed accordingly. 3 big takeaways. Keycap 1: Long-term thinking beats talent. You don't need to be a genius. You need patience and the courage to think in decades. Keycap 2: Obsession is a competitive advantage. If you care about something more than others, you will eventually beat others. Keycap 3: Regret minimization is the ultimate decision tool. The 80-year-old version of you already knows the right decision. Listen to him. Warning for the future. Amazon is powerful today, but the world is shifting. AI, automation, drones, and robotic logistics will define the next era. The question is, will the next Bezos rise from a garage somewhere? Or will Amazon become too dominant for anyone to challenge? Only time will tell. Call to action. If this story opened your eyes, if it made you think deeper about ambition, risk, and the power of long-term vision, then like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who dreams big. Because in a world full of shortcuts, this story proves that the longest road creates the biggest legacy. This was the story of Jeff Bezos, the man who turned a garage into a global empire.